Welcome guys, Sven here with another season of the PBAL, the Pokemon Battle Association League. It's the season 4, it's a Sword and Shield Wi-Fi Draft League and everything is pre-home, so all the movesets are pre-home, so no transferable defoggers, toxic users, etc. And this is the story about my season 4 draft and how NOCTOWL got sniped. Okay, I was number 3 in the draft, so I had a pretty good position. I was looking at Darmanitan, Galar, Form, Dracovish, Dragapult, Corviknight, etc. as my first pick. The two people before me picked Dragapult and Galarian Darmanitan. So I got Mr. Fish, Dracovish, or as he will be called, Surprise, in this league. You can see the stats to the right, in the top right corner. They're not super impressive, but as you all know, Fish's Rend with Strong Jaw just hits brutally hard, even on resistant hits. So, since I got Dracovish round 1, my plan was to build around this thing so that this thing can do as much damage as possible in the league. It has OK bulk with 90 and 180. 90 attack is pretty lackluster and 75 speed is middling, but just slap a choice scarf on this. As long as you're attacking before your opponent, Fish's Rend is gonna kill almost anything. So with this as my first pick, I was already started on 2 of my cores, the Fire Water Grass and the Fairy Dragon Steel core. So for my next pick, I picked Ferrothorn, which was, in my opinion, the only good mon left in Tier 1 when it came back to me, so I had to take that opportunity to pick it. Such a solid mon, great defenses with 131 defense and 116 special defense with 74 HP and a respectable 94 attack stat. It's also pretty slow, so it can use Gyro Ball to much effect, and it also gives me both spikes and Stealth Rock, so it's a good hazard control, and Iron Barbs to check opposing physical threats. And yeah, what can you say? Ferrothorn, staple in OU and staple in draft ever since it came out. Now with Hidden Power gone, I know which Pokemon will be carrying fire moves, so I can like switch out on them, so I will not be taken like off guard and they get a surprise KO on my Ferrothorn. Yeah, this one gave me a grass and a steel type to my Firewater Grass and my Fairy Steel Dragon core, and a very solid one at that. Ferrothorn is going to be called Red Hot Chili this season, as the shiny form is red, so it's a tribute to the band Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, so super good mon all around. Excited to use it. Was a long time ago I used it. I didn't use it in Sun and Moon meta. Last time I used it was in Auras, so gonna be fun to be able to use this thing again. So for my next pick, I picked Vikavolt. You might say that this was a little bit too early to do this pick, but all of the stick web users were going, and I knew I wanted sticky webs with Dracovish, so I picked up Vikavolt. Very strong special attacker, respectable bulk with 77, 90, 75, but that 145 special attack just hits like a truck, and it has sticky web. It also can set up with agility and sweep teams. It's a pretty bad speed tier, but with agility it can still put in work. And yeah, just volt switches from this thing is gonna do massive damage even to resist the hits, and it's pretty reliable to use. You can just slap on heavy duty boots and it won't care about rocks, which usually is pretty bad for it. And yeah, it's a very solid mon. This one is gonna be called Forklift, so I'm looking forward to using Forklift during this season of the drafts in the PBAL, and yeah, I hope it can put in some work. So for round 4, I was picking up SwSh because SwSh was just too good to pass up on. It could be any type, and since we only had a 10-mon draft this season, I saw that it would be tough for me to fill out every typing that I wanted, so I picked SwSh so that I could just use it in any matchup, just tailor make it for just that one matchup, and it will put in work. It has a super good move pool, a wide variety of moves. Unfortunately, it has lost defog, so it can't defog, but other than that, it has parting shot, U-turn, flamethrower, thunderbolt, ice beam, yeah, and a lot of more like super good coverage moves, and it's just a very good all-around Pokemon. And the 95 stats all around is pretty nice. 95 speed is actually pretty good in this format, since a lot of the fast mons are gone, and this is Galar decks only, so no Zeraora and such either. So 95 is a respectable speed, so I picked this one up because I thought it was the best tier 2 left, and I knew I wanted 2 tier 2s. Since I picked 2 tier 1s, I'm gonna pick 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 1 tier 4, and 1 tier 5 as my free picks. So next, I think I picked up Mimikyu, another tier 2 mon. It's a fairy to complete the Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Also ghost type, so I can spin block if I get up my spikes, my stealth rocks, and stick web. I can switch a Mimikyu to block the spin if they have spin instead of defog, because defog is pretty scarce. Well, even though Mimikyu got a little bit nerfed this generation with the disguise, when it's breaking, it takes damage. You can't run the double sash set, like you take the disguise and then you have a sash so they can attack you again. It's still threatening, pretty fast with 96 space speed. It's gonna be my fastest mon. Yeah, oh, I forgot, SwSh is gonna be called Walkman, and Mimikyu here is Oven Mitt, because it looks like an oven mitt, the disguise at least. It has okay coverage with Leech Life. It gets some dark move, I don't remember which. It gets Wood Hammer. And Sword Stance, of course. It can hit hard with Sword Stance, and priority with Shadow Sneak, Shadow Claw, and Play Rough. Just a decent one overall. And it helped me with typings, and I think it will put in work this season. Okay, next I picked Drapion. I wanted Toxic Spikes and a grounded poison type. Drapion fit the bill perfectly. Has pretty good all-around stats. You can either run the crit set with Sniper Scope Lens, you can run Assault Vest, you can run Black Sludge with T-Spikes, and you also have Knockoff, and I have a very strong knockoff that is as well, since you're a dark type, and one of not many Pokemon in the format that knows knockoff as well. Has decent coverage in Earthquake and Rock Slide and such. And just overall a solid mon. What did I name this? I named it after Mac. Yeah, I don't remember. No, it's if you know Scorpion from Spider-Man. His real, like his human name. Mac Gage or something like that. I don't remember the last name of that character. I'm sorry. But at least that's the nickname. I think Drapion for tier 3 was very well worth the price, and excited to use it actually. So next up we have Rhyperior, one of my all-time favorites to draft. Absolute unit, because he's an absolute unit, you know. That's the nickname. Look at his lad. It's just gorgeous. Big, fat, high HP, high defense, high attack stat, pretty bad special defense stat, but solid rock is such a good ability, so you can tank a lot of grass and water hits, even if the special defense is that low, and it's quite effective because solid rock is just an amazing ability. It gives me another very solid rocker, gives me a ground type, so I have an electric immunity now. And it just hits so hard with Earthquake, Stone Edge and such. Very good mon in my opinion. So worth a tier 3 in my opinion. So next up, this was when was gonna pick NOCTOWL, but it got sniped 2 picks before me. Yeah, you heard me right. A NOCTOWL was sniped. So instead, I chose to go with Flareon to complete my Firewater Grass Core. It's a tier 5. It's a decent evolution. It's not the best. Has pretty bad HP and defense. Great special defense, middling speed, and a high attack stat. Unfortunately, it's a guts Pokemon, but it's a fire type, so it can't use the Flame Orb. So if you want to use the guts, you have to run Toxic Orb, and you know Toxic isn't the greatest thing to have. But this gave me a Wish Pokemon. It also gave me a Heal Bell Pokemon, and yeah, a Cleric and a Wish Passer, as well as it can be used both specially and physically offensive with pretty decent fire. Yeah, it's pretty decent fire type for tier 5 in my opinion. I think it was between this and Turtonator, and I like Flareon better. Flareon also has Flash Fire, so fire immunity for stuff like Vikavolt and Ferrothorn, so pairs well with them. So, and Flareon is called Mozilla, like Mozilla Firefox, you know, because it looks like the Firefox. So Mozilla is gonna do great, I think, and I hopefully will get to use her in some matchups. And next up, I think is Hitmonchan. So far I don't have a single way of hazard removal, so I wanted to pick up a Spinner and a Defogger. And in tier 4 I saw this dude, Hitmonchan, and I thought he's a fighting type. Fighting types are good to have. He can be in my my PDF core, my Psychic Dark fighting type core, which now consists of Hitmonchan, Drapion, and possibly Silvally Psychic. Yeah, Hitmonchan is called Ranta, after Ranta runt i ringen, which is a Swedish joke about Finland's best boxing player, a boxer, so hence he's going to be called Ranta. With the buff to Rapid Spin, the 76 speed, and getting the Rapid Spin off is going to be crucial, really good, and put Hitmonchan in good positions to clean late game, or just break through stuff with a 105 attack stat, and also Iron Fist, and the incredible coverage it gets with all the elemental punches and such. And for my last pick, there was only 2 defoggers left in the pool in tier 5, and it was either Wallaby or Rufflet. So I chose Wallaby. It has pretty decent stats with Eviolite. It's very bulky. It still gets foul play, and yeah, foul play is possibly its only way of attacking, because its attacking stats are pretty bad. It gets defog. It's also one of the few things that get toxic, as well as Therathorn. But I just thought it was good to have a defog user on the team, and if I had to choose between Rufflet and Wallaby, it had to be Wallaby, you know. So much better than Rufflet, in my opinion. It's bulky. I could see myself using this. And with Eviolite, yeah, you can take on many threats. Yeah. So that is my team. You see Dracovish, Silvally, Drapion, Rhyperior, Vikavolt, Flareon, Ferrothorn, Mimikyu, Hitmonchan, and Wallaby. As you can see, I have 2 rockers in Rhyperior and Ferrothorn, a Spike Setter in Ferrothorn, Toxic Spike Setter in Drapion, and also a Web Setter in Vikavolt. So I have all the hazards, and I also have a Spin Blocker in Mimikyu, and yeah, and a Rapid Spinner and a Defogger. If I had to choose, I think the draft went okay. I'm pretty satisfied with my team. The only thing is that I didn't get the damn owl to NOCTOWL, so I don't have a normal type except if I run Silvally normal. So Ghost is pretty spammable versus me, with only Drapion and Wallaby being the resists. Wallaby won't come to every game, probably. I don't even have a name for Wallaby at the moment. So please leave name suggestions for Wallaby in the comments, and I'll see if any one of them catches my eye, and I might name it that. But that's all for the Season 4 draft, Uppsala Umbreons. This is the roster. Hopefully we can make playoffs this season. Last season we missed playoffs because of unfortunate family tragedy with my grandma passing away, and I had to forfeit a couple of games, so I barely missed playoffs. But I'm back with vengeance, and I really wanna go for this season, and I think I have the team. As long as I'm able to set up Dracovish, I think we can do it. Peace out. Don't forget to unsubscribe, leave a dislike, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.